1.2 Characteristics of particles of matter. Particles of matter have space between them. In activities 1.1 and 1.2, we saw that particles of sugar, salt, Dettol, or potassium permanganate got evenly distributed in water. Similarly, when we make tea, coffee, or lemonade, nimbu pani, particles of one type of matter get into the spaces between particles of the other. This shows that there is enough space between particles of matter. Particles of matter are continuously moving. Activity. Do this. Put an unlit incense stick in a corner of your class. How close do you have to go near it so as to get its smell? Now light the incense stick. What happens? Do you get the smell sitting at a distance? Record your observation. Comment this. Activity. Do this. Take 2 glasses or beakers filled with water. Put a drop of blue or red ink slowly and carefully along the sides of the first beaker and honey in the same way in the second beaker. Leave them undistributed, undisturbed in your house or in a corner of the class. Record your observation. What do you observe immediately after adding the ink drop? What do you observe immediately after adding a drop of honey? How many hours or days does it take for the color of ink to spread evenly throughout the water? Comment this. Activity. Do this. Drop a crystal of copper sulfate or potassium permanganate into a glass of hot water and another containing cold water. Do not stir the solution. Allow the crystals to settle at the bottom. What do you observe just above the solid crystal in the glass? What happens as time passes? What does this suggest about the particles of solid and liquid? Does the rate of mixing change with temperature? Why and how? Comment this. From the above 3 activities 1.3, 1.4 and 1.5, we can conclude the following. Particles of matter are continuously moving, that is, they possess what we call the kinetic energy. As the temperature rises, particles move faster. So we can say that with increase in temperature, the kinetic energy of the particles also increases. In the above 3 activities, we observe that particles of matter intermix on their own with each other. They do so by getting into the spaces between the particles. This intermixing of particles of 2 different types of matter on their own is called diffusions. We also observe that on heating, diffusion becomes faster. Why does this happen? Particles of matter attract each other. Activity. Do this. Play this game in the field, make 4 groups and form human chain as suggested. The first group should hold each other from the back and lock arm like Idu Mismi dancers. Figure. The second group should hold hands to form a human chain. The third group should form a chain by touching each other with only their fingertips. Now the fourth group of students should run around and try to break the 3 human chains one by one into as many small groups as possible. Which group was the easiest to break? Why? Comment this. If we consider each student as a particle of matter, then in which group the particle held each other with the maximum force? Comment this. Activity. Do this. Take an iron nail, a piece of chalk, and a rubber band. Try breaking them by hammering, cutting, or stretching. In which of the above three substances do you think the particles are held together with greater force? Comment this. Activity. Take some water in a container. Try cutting the surface of water with your fingers. Were you able to cut the surface of water? What could be the reason behind the surface of water remaining together? Comment this. The above three activities suggest that particles of matter have force acting between them. This force keeps the particles together. The strength of this force of attraction varies from one kind of matter to another. Questions. 1. Which of the following are matter, chair, air, love, smell, hate, almonds, thought, coat, lemon, water, smell of perfume? 2. Give reasons for the following observation. The smell of hot sizzling food reaches you several meters away, but to get the smell from cold food, you have to go close. 3. A diver is able to cut through water in a swimming pool. Which property of matter does this observation show? 4. What are the characteristics of the particles of matter? Comment this.